The following video was shared by Felimundo, and he tells us that he had captured it via Snapchat to share it with a bunch of his friends. Apparently, the young man was standing in front of his aunt's house in Gainesville, Florida, to smoke a cigarette at around 7 AM in the morning. He then noticed a strange reflection in the door right across from him. The interesting part about that, the neighboring house was still uninhabited after the owner had passed away a few weeks prior. Feli states that whatever was captured here wasn't fully visible to the human eye, and the creepy details only surfaced after rewatching the footage on the phone. A creepy face is staring at him from the upper part of the door window, and then it just vanishes into thin air. Feli even checked after that to make sure that it was no intruder, and he could find nothing. Do you believe that this could have been the former owner, perhaps? The young man also goes to say that this was not the only really weird incident on this piece of land. Only the first that he could capture on camera. Interesting. The next clip was uploaded by user Arachnid Altruistic, and he states that the footage we are seeing here was filmed off another person's phone at a get-together. The incident in question was rather creepy, however. The video was filmed in a hospital during the preparation for a going-away party for one of the hospital's staff. We can see a nurse who is pushing a cart with some unfolded boxes. The young woman who had captured her colleague explains that she was recording several videos of her, only a few seconds apart from each other. In one of the short clips, something rather eerie was captured.
I see it.
You see that?
Yeah.
The next clip is okay. That's the person that does not exist.
And then scroll.
And then
he
gone.
disappears.
He disappears. You kind of see a little shadow there pop up and gone. And then all you see is Wendy's body.
Interesting.
But his face, if you go a little slower, you can see it completely. Let me go to the screen. There, you can catch his face.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And scroll all the way.
And then he's gone.
I want to look at the shadow.
And the shadow pops up right here, there, and gone. It's not her. It's not Wendy's shadow.
A strange head is popping up right behind the stack of boxes. Nobody knew this person though, or had seen him ever before. Also, the head can only be seen for a couple of frames before disappearing to the left, only to possibly pop up once more. The staff stated that the workers were pretty terrified after watching the video, and there are many who believe that this might have been the spirit of somebody who's still lingering around in the hospital after passing, maybe participating in the preparations. Who knows? Now we are looking at an update from user WinMCPix, who had shared some eerie poltergeist encounters from his home, in which he and his family is living in. The spirit loves to spook the whole family, including his little son. The unsettling truth? The activity has elevated from loud and terrifying rattling noises to full-on shadow sightings. This clip was captured one night after Wynn was woken up by a loud bang.
Hello? Hey, no. No, stay there. Hey. Dude. It's okay. It's okay.
The shadow was just sitting in his chair, possibly waiting for Wynn to show up. Creepy. A few nights after that, their security camera outside of their home has captured the following incident and alerted the family that movement had been detected at the time. The family had never seen such a weird object, and the way it moves makes it pretty unrealistic for it to just be a light reflection from the street or from the neighboring houses. They are certain that this capture is connected with the scary encounters in their home. Could this be? This short clip was aired by a Mexican TV channel who was showing this interview at the time, in which the man to the left was telling the audience about his work. What's quite mysterious is the misty object in the background that captured the attention of several viewers.
Casi 10 meses buscando a alguien que lo quisiera recibir y no fue posible. Un comprador y pues terminó.
It is really hard to make out what we are looking at here. Some say it does look like the outlines of a hovering human. Others believe it just to be a strange light reflection from somewhere. What's your idea? Now we're taking a look at another news station video. In this case it was shared by News Channel 13. On the recording we see journalist Sam Hessler doing live shots during the morning news from the Green Ridge Cemetery in Saratoga County, advertising and informing their viewers about the so-called spooky twilight tours. A viewer reached out to Sam afterwards and told her that there was something behind her to the left side of the screen.
As you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones, but what you can't see because it's dark out, and as you can see behind me here, we
To some, this looks like a spooky orb that is passing by the graves in the background. Could they be onto something? Some residual energy, perhaps? The crew stated that there were no moving lights at the scene, and even traffic lights seemed very unlikely. So, what was it then? The following video was captured by D. Reichno, who was recording this eerie footage in her very own basement. The woman states that this house was built in 1909 and that she always felt like the place was haunted, but so far couldn't capture any evidence of that. The basement in particular was home to some extremely creepy noises and voices that seemed to stem from behind the nether. She and her partner went downstairs into the basement today to grab a few tools, and they asked this being for permission. Take a look.
Hey. Hello. Whoa.
Hi. Are you okay down here?
We're just looking for some tools, that's all.
Is that okay? We're gonna leave now unless you have something to say. Show us a sign.
Just let us know you're okay.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna bother you. We come in peace.
Did you hide here a lot?
Some extremely creepy breathing noises can be heard that are unaccounted for. Several people believe this to be demonic perhaps. And then there's also a creepy pair of eyes staring at them from underneath the stairs.
The light keeps coming on. Whoa, now it's recording all of a sudden.
By itself?
Yep. Whoa. Hi.
Dee is certain that they are dealing with a haunting here, and that these are not the eyes of an animal, or an easily explainable reflection from an item. What do you think? This video was shared by Silas Neposh, and he states that it got recorded one day when he was just out on a skiing adventure with some of his friends. They were high up in the mountains when he noticed some pretty unusual activity unfold at the other side of the plains where some larger trees were situated. He grabbed his phone and started recording.
Something happened over there. There's the trees. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It would appear that an inhumane tall creature is ripping out the trees and carrying them away. But how's this possible? Silas stated that the video is 100% real and that no video editing is taking place here. Do you think this could just be an irritating perspective, making things appear larger than they really are? Many commenters believe that something rather inexplicable is going on here though. Who can say? The following video was shared by urban explorer and paranormal enthusiast Leo, who went with a friend of his to a supposedly haunted shop. The shop is not accessible and fenced off, so the two were doing a live on his profile and showing the surroundings to their viewers. Of course, this wasn't as satisfying as they had hoped, since not having access to the building doesn't really help in urban exploration. However, his phone captured something unusual when live streaming to his audience. After analyzing the footage, it became clear that a pale face was staring out of one of the windows, which honestly gave the two explorers quite some goosebumps. The building is abandoned for quite some time, and as stated, nobody has access to it, making them believe that they might have captured one of the ghosts that is said to haunt this building. What a scary thought, isn't it? This is a submission from Ariel Gomez, who states that the capture stems from a friend and that it was taken in an old hospital in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The girl in the capture was visiting somebody in the hospital and decided to take a selfie with her friend who came along. They stood in front of a mirror in the bathroom when they took it. They were quite shocked when checking the capture right afterwards. A shockingly creepy apparition was captured, standing right behind the two women. Of course, they did not see this thing at the time, and they are absolutely certain that nobody else was with them in the bathroom. Double exposure is not a thing anymore with phone cameras. So, do we have to assume that an entity from another dimension was photobombing the two? The head looks a little bit skull-like. Really creepy. The following incident was a terrifying encounter that a young woman had shared on her profile, Los Polioneros TV. The mother states that her young baby son seems to be talking more and more about his imaginary little friend that likes to visit him in his room, and the boy is talking a lot to him apparently. The mother started recording these encounters to share with the family. Such was the case today. She started filming once her little son told her about his friend and that he was with them this day.
Vente, estamos solos. Ay, Dios mío.
Seemingly uneasy, the young mother is turning around and she captures a shadow image of what looks to be a little kid standing in the dark kitchen staring at her. And it did scare her so bad that it took her a few days until she decided to share this encounter on her profile. She believes that this imaginary friend to be not that imaginary after all now. Let's hope that this doesn't get out of hand. The following is a recording which stems from a memorial celebration which was held for the fallen soldiers. Two young men who were part of the military themselves were giving speeches at the time. Important to note is that nobody was situated behind them and the area was supposedly secured. However, it would appear that a man was standing just a few inches behind them. Several eyewitness reports state that nobody saw this man behind the trees. And that many believe this to be a manifestation of a fallen soldier in full uniform. I thought at first that maybe a local farmer accidentally made his way into the recording. But based on these eyewitness accounts, my theory is probably out of the window. Eerie though, isn't it?